Hello, family. Thank you for joining us here on Queen Chronicles The Series. We are talking about women this month, and in honor of Women's History Month, I just want to shout out all aunties. Who ain't got a good auntie, right? Aunties are like those second mothers, those women who teach us who we are and who have that family history, who have the love, the nurturing, and the time for us, who reflect who we are and introduce us to our family. So I just want to give a shout out to aunties everywhere. Aunties, you are the best. So anyway, today's show is all about women aging gracefully. So let's get into it. Thanks for joining us again. Let's rock. All right, so we're talking about women aging gracefully. I think one thing that comes to me is that our society doesn't necessarily really allow for that. And I think the beauty and wisdom that comes with aging is such a thing that should be marveled. But if I look at, let's say, sportscasters, for example, they could be 97 with no hair. But the women who are out there have to be fit, young, keep a youthful appearance. What do you think that's all about? And what do you think about it?
It's the effect of living in a male-dominated society. So I definitely agree. And matter of fact, I actually think that is their goal. Like when they are developing like the cast of these sports, teams or sports center things or whatever, is they always, because sometimes the young lady, and nothing against the young lady, but sometimes she'll just like be there, like, and they kind of talk over her. They don't really give her a chance to speak. She's just kind of there, I guess, for like eye candy for the watchers, So, I just think that comes from living in a male-dominated society, where men sometimes are just, given the upper hand, as opposed to women who sometimes have to do or have to work twice as hard in this society.
Well, I guess I wonder, when you say age gracefully, like, what do what does that mean? Are we talking about just the physical appearance, or are we talking about like the emotional, aging of a person?
Mm-hmm. I think that because our society does have some ageism as well, and there's a certain, at some point, people of a certain age kind of get thrown away or pushed to the back. A lot of times we don't honor wisdom, but when the Bible talks about wisdom, if you hear it, they call it her. Look for her. So if we're talking about women aging gracefully, there's wisdom that comes from that, and wisdom doesn't come when you're in your 20s. You have a level of it in your teens or what have you, or even in your early 30s. It comes from aging and having influence like our aunties or our mothers who are doing very well, our grandmothers, and really honoring the process that they've been through.
Mm-hmm. But I think, like I said, part of the society piece of it, we have to be okay with aging. I mean, sometimes those who are aging, they can't accept the fact that they're aging gracefully. They see themselves as getting older and, having no value. I'm not working. So if you don't see the wisdom that you bring as an aged person, how can you give that to somebody else?
Right.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I also think that with aging gracefully, like, I guess modeling your life in a way where, physically modeling your life in a way where you live the age that you are. So when I say that, I mean, it's two different takes. So I see, like, my parents, for example, they're in their 60s, but my parents live like they're in their 20s. They are always on vacation, like they are really enjoying life, They are not in the house. My dad, he's gonna hate me for telling y'all this, but yesterday or a few weeks ago, we had the snow. My dad walked 5 miles because he just wanted to get out of the house, and he was like, I just gotta get out of here. I was like, you have a spirit of restlessness. But like, and so that's that one piece, like choosing whatever age you want to be, as long as you're happy, But then there's the other piece where we have a lot of people that are, in their 80s, or maybe I shouldn't say 80s, but maybe 60s or 70s that are dressing like they're in their 20s or 30s, like, and I've seen it a lot. Like, if I was 20, I mean, I'm not knocking anybody. Like, if it fits you and you rocking it, by all means, do whatever you need to do. But I definitely think that, like, the key word of aging gracefully is gracefully. Like figuring out like what accentuates who you are and where you are at this point in your life.
Yeah.
You're right, because there's a lady that I know, and she's about 79, and she shops at Forever 21.
I know her.
And I call her Forever 21. And I mean, we're talking about like sequence pants, you know, I mean, it just doesn't fit, you know, and so when you talk about that whole aging, and I know there's so much wisdom because at the point you get to be 79, you are inundated with wisdom.
Absolutely.
And so I can't see and feel your wisdom because your outward appearance says that you've not embraced that graceful wisdom that you have. So they have to match.
Have to. That's something I even think about when I'm purchasing clothing or out there. My rule has been, and maybe I'm tripping, if I wore it the first time and it's back, I can't wear it again. So the overalls and stuff, I did that in high school. So that's stuff, people are wearing overalls, people are doing certain things. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do it again. Now I'm gonna let my daughter do it. Like, oh girl, rock it and rock it like this. That's my rule. Do y'all think that's out of control?
No, I definitely,
I do.
Okay.
I mean, there's certain things definitely, like, for example, I know speaking from my generation, like, I would never wear gauchos again. Like, you know, the little pants.
Did you wear it before?
Absolutely. I would
What
never wear them
that?
again. Gauchos.
Oh, gauchos,
you know, like the
yes,
jean gauchos,
yes.
and I would never do that. But something else I thought about was I think with Aging Gracefully, like, I think sometimes we have accepted the negative connotation that comes with aging, you know, and I really think it's an attack of the enemy, you know, to make you feel like, oh, you're getting older, you're this, you're that. Whereas you should be embracing the fact that, like, wow, I've made it another year. Like, I am this age. Like, a lot of people didn't make it to this age. Like, that was something that I really had to, now y'all gonna say something, but when I turned 24 in December, it was really traumatic. It really was, because that was the first year that that was my first birthday where I was genuinely like, I'm 24. Like, I really felt old. And even though I'm always the youngest with my friend groups, like, I'm always in my classes and stuff, I'm the youngest person at my school that I work at, you know, I've always been the youngest, so it's like I kind of can prepare for like the 25, 26 because that's who I surround myself with. But like, this birthday was really, really hard, and I never expressed it to my family because I was just like, I know they're gonna be like, "Are you serious?" But you know, like, for a while, I really was. It was like I was going through a process, you know, like, we went to Disney World and everything because I was really, really in denial about, like, the fact that I'm 24, you know, and I'm like, dang, 6 more years I'm gonna be 30, and then after 30 you got 40, and I'm gonna be 50, and it was just really bad. But at one point, so I was doing my devotions, and God was like, do you understand the amount of people that did not make it to 24?
Right.
And I started thinking about friends that I graduated with in college, you know, people, you know, there's always, whenever I go on social media, Instagram, shooting over in this place, or shooting in that place, or this person dies suddenly. Like, there's so many things that God has protected me from in the last 24 years. So I think that's one very, very important thing, like, to embrace who you are, embrace your age, because so many other people have not made it to that age.
And I mean, it's a process. I mean, you know, getting older and aging, you know, people go through different highs and lows in terms of how they feel. Yeah. But I think that, you know, for you, where 24 felt like life was over, you had to
I didn't
get
say
to that. I'm sorry, 24 you felt like you was close to.
I was hurt.
You know, but you had to go through that process. I mean, like, next year I'll be 50, and like, I can't wait. You know, I can't wait to get there. Like, I mean, I'm going to be half of a century. And that's, like, big to me. Because there's a whole bunch of wisdom that I need to impart, and I'm 50. I mean, that to me is such a milestone. And I'm okay with that. Yeah. You know, I mean, now mind you, this is my 9th year being 40. And I don't change age until I'm 50 next year. Yes. Whatever you want to say. I'm looking forward to 50 and nothing before then.
Yeah, I mean, I too have gotten, well, I remember when I turned 30, that was kind of like, oh my gosh, now, like, I'm this real grown adult and people are supposed to take me seriously. So, you know, that was like a big change. But now, having just turned 40, I was so excited. We have some friends who are like, oh my gosh, I'm getting old, almost like they just want to take their pill now. You know, I have a girlfriend who says aging ain't for suckers, and she's not lying, because I do sometimes get out of my car and I'm like, why do my legs feel like that? I did not. I'm driving.
I feel like that now.
I didn't walk here. You know, so, but the blessing in it all is like, wow. Listen, and maybe you can confirm. 40 was an I know who I am. I know who I'm not. I know what I will and will not do or tolerate. So if you're not able to stay within this box, I'm fine with not continuing with this relationship or connection. So I really am secure in who I am, where I couldn't say that at even 35, 30, 36. You know, now I'm cool with me. All of me, flaws and all, I'm straight.
I think 40 does suck. Like, I threw myself a 40th birthday party, and it was all about me. I mean, like, I did it a big for my 40, because it was like a coming out party for me.
Yes.
Like, I'm 40 and nothing, mattered before, and now I'm getting ready to start life new.
Yeah, my mom's like, you're really serious about this whole 40 thing. I'm like, yes. So, I mean, it was huge, and I'm so excited to be here. And I don't know what 41 is going to look like, but I'm super excited about 41. But I'm living right now in this moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that catches us. There are two things. One is we anticipate the future when and forget to live in the moment. Another thing is we're inundated with all of these images of what beauty is, what's acceptable, what's desirable. I'm sorry, I was meeting with a beautiful older woman. She's in her 50s. When I say drop dead gorgeous, she doesn't see it. But she says, I get on the, if I don't have on my makeup, if I don't have this, I get on the bus to go to work and I hold my head down because I know guys won't even look at me because they're passing me for these younger women. And the reality is there are men in your age group who will definitely approach you, but if you don't hold your head up high, I don't care if you're 30, 20, 50, 70, you know, you gotta be happy with who you are.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the makeup and Botox industry, those are multi-billion-dollar industries, you know. And I know whenever you turn on the TV, there's a show on what is it called, Botched, and they have the Married to Medicine, and it's all of these women who are paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to look younger, and they're injecting their faces with things, and specifically with Botox, like, because it's kind of a new thing, we don't know the long-term effects of those things now, because it's so new. It's such a baby thing in the medical field, so it's like so many, I know the different, I don't want to say the names, but our celebrities and reality shows and stuff, they go to the doctor and they get the Botox and things like that, but like we don't know like the long-term effects, like what is, 20 years from now,
when you start winking from your cheek,
they can't move their mouth.
A short-term effect is you always look surprised, like this is your birthday party or something. I'm not knocking it when people take it too far, because everything some things are okay in moderation. I think that if there's something that you can do to feel comfortable about you, whether it be get you some lipstick or get your hair done or what have you, let that be what it is, but don't go to the extreme with it. And you talked about celebrities, and I'm looking at reality TV, snippets of these women, etc. Everybody's face is starting to look the same. Have you noticed that? Like they're all going to the same doctor?
Yeah, definitely. They're all going to the same doctor, and I agree. Definitely.
Do they pick A, B, C? Is there three faces to choose from?
You talking about with makeup?
Buy one, get one free.
No, I'm talking about with the plastic surgery.
Oh, that's a whole nother mind.
Okay, we'll talk about
that. But you know what,
Aging
Aging Gracefully, like it has to be from within. Because I think you have to be, when you talk about the surgeries and the Botox, and that's because there's something inside, that they're trying to put on the outside. So you have to age gracefully from within. You have to be comfortable with who you are, to be able to kind of present that on the outside. My mother is 84. And she looks like she's about 50.
Wow.
And so my prayer is that when I get to be 84, I want to look like that.
How about it?
Because it's just like makeup. I just feel like plastic surgery too. It should complement you. Like, and I am not against plastic surgery. And I'm gonna be honest. I've actually researched plastic surgery. Like, I am completely, for it as long as it complements you.
Yes.
What I don't like or disagree with is when you look like a completely different person. I don't even know who you are, and that's what a lot of because we're all trying to reach this standard of beauty. You know what I'm saying? And so with plastic surgery, I just think sometimes people take it too far. Now at the end of the day, it's your money or somebody else's money. It's somebody's money. So that is your, whatever you want to do with your body and with your money by all means. But also think that it's not a fixer. I had a friend that recently just had plastic surgery, and she pretty much told me, she was like, she went into it thinking that it was going to fix her issues. It was going to fix the fact that she had some insecurities about certain parts of her body, and the surgery, she looks amazing, but because like you were saying, because inside there wasn't surgery done on the inside. It was she still had that same mindset of like, I need to do this, I need to do that. And I think that's another thing too that keeps it cyclical, that you know, because you haven't fixed what's on the inside, you get the plastic surgery done, and then you get addicted to it because you're constantly seeking that ideal of beauty when you don't realize that comes from inside. You have to make a conscious decision that, you know what, I like the person that God has made me. You know, like whatever I want, just like makeup, I want it to compliment me. I don't want, you know, to look like a different person. I don't want to be, you know, completely unrecognizable doing the 10-year challenge and they're like, wow, it's a whole different person. You know, like I don't want that. Same for the skin bleaching industry. Like that, now that is one of the things that is really, really, and I know I'm going off in a tangent, but that is something that is really, really bothering me, and people don't realize how popular it is, specifically like in the islands, like in the Caribbean and Jamaica, places like that, Barbados, the skin bleaching fathom. Like I don't understand that. So I guess I say all that to say, like, embrace who you are. Like God didn't make any mistakes when He created you. You know, if there are things that, you know, are part of you that you may want to change, or you want to I guess make better, by all means do that, but make sure it complements who you are.
And when you talk about that, you know, I mean, going back to that inside out, you know, what happens is, you know, when you get the tummy tuck and when you get the face tighten and you look in that mirror, if inside you're not okay, you're not going to see what the outside did for you. You know, it's like I'm like, oh, my face didn't get tight enough, or I didn't get enough tucked, because you're still looking on your outside from that broken inside. You know, and so I mean, aging is, I mean, there is, I mean, like Danielle, like you said earlier, so many people, whatever age you are, so many people did not make it to your age for whatever reason. You know, and so you need to be thankful that you are whatever age you are. And the graceful piece of it is like, you know, planning for your future, looking to enjoy life, make some goals and accomplish some things, and just kind of, you know, enjoy where you are in anticipation for where you're going to be.
Yeah, because God has different, you know, things in store for each age, and I truly believe that. I can honestly sit down and write down each age. I obviously don't remember like when I was 5 and below, but 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 24, every year something amazing happened in my life, you know? And so it's like, every time I have a birthday now, I think of it as like, wow, God, what are you going to do this year? Like, I'm really excited to see like what He has in store for me. And that's how you should look at your birthdays, people that are, you know, older or whatever. Like, look at that as, okay, God, like, I'm like, you're standing outside of a closed door and you're like waiting for that door to open, you know? Like, that's just the type of God He is.
The beautiful thing, or one thing that you could do to appreciate the age and wisdom that you have, is reach back to a woman behind you. Because there are those of us, like I'm 40, a woman who's 50, 55, 60 may be able to turn around, grab me by the hand and teach me some things about what it's like. The Word of God talks about teaching us to be wives, to be mothers, and things like that. So mentor someone, and when you start to see how valuable your life experience is, my goodness, that'll add to the work that's already there.
That's something we definitely don't. Well, I know I definitely don't see enough of that within the. Yeah, I don't see enough of that. Like within my church, absolutely. Like I have so many sisters, Trinice, now you guys. Like I have so many older sisters that are helping me, but I know a lot of my friends that didn't grow up the same way that I grew up, and it's really sad because even when I'm outside of the church or like different people that are in my life, like older women, you know, and I'm gonna just talk about it. Like one thing that I've experienced was like older women. I'm gonna just say it, being jealous. Older women just not wanting to help out. Older women feeling like you are, you know, taking their spot or taking their, you know, and like that was something that like I just experienced it to my knowledge, for the first time like a year ago. You know, somebody that I really looked up to. You know, this was somebody that I really inspired. Like she didn't even realize how much she inspired me. You know, and we would, I don't want to say what it is, but we would like be together and stuff, and some of the stuff she would say, like it was like demeaning and like degrading, or like she would like ignore me, or like just really foul things, you know. And I talked to my parents about it, and it was just like, she's jealous, you know. And it's like, why? We are all in this together.
But you know what? I don't know who she is, but what I'll say is that, you know, sometimes, you know, I mean, to her, you know, to her benefit, it could be a situation where you're a reminder of who I was not able to be. You know, and so because of all the defects in me, when I look at someone who is where I should have been at that age, then it's a reminder for me. And so it's not that I'm mad at you or I'm jealous of you, It's just that I'm so upset with myself that you're getting my stuff. And I don't mean to give it to you, but it's me dealing with me and it's coming out on you.
Yeah, I definitely, I just, that's one thing that I really, really strive to do, especially, like, even though I'm 24, like, I have a lot of people that I at least try to help, you know, and, because I understand the importance of, like, Trinice is, like, that's my sister. I mean, blood couldn't make us any closer, you know, and she doesn't even realize how much of an impact she has played on my life, and so many other, you know, women who have played that integral part in my life, and it's, I mean, maybe, you know, next week we'll talk about, you know, sisterhood and things like that, but that is such an essential thing, specifically within the African American community, is building that level of respect and trust and unity within all generations.
And it should be that sense of, you know, wherever I am, I should be reaching down to pick somebody else up, and I should be looking up for someone to pick me up.
Right.
And so that chain kind of goes that way. You know, we'll all get there.
And one thing I've noticed too is that people that have strong relationships with God don't age.
Listen.
They do not age. Like, just speaking for people at, like, you guys definitely don't age, but, like, speaking for people, like, at my church, you know, one day they were doing praise and worship, and all of the ministers, like Reverend Vanessa, who was here a few weeks ago, and different ministers, like Mark Collins, his wife, I was, like, looking around, I'm like, these women do not age. Like, these women are in their 40s, their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, and they look amazing, you know, and I really think that that is, that is a reflection of peace, that's a reflection of loving yourself, that's a reflection of having that strong relationship with God, that is a reflection of not holding on to bitterness, that's a reflection of, you know, being forgiving others. Like, I think all of those things, I think we think that sometimes, you know, we have this mindset where what we think about just impacts here, but we don't realize, like, it affects our physical, it manifests physically, you know. And so I know my mom, she's 61, and she does not look her age, you know. I mean, literally, people are always like, wow, really, honestly, what kind of gives her away that she's maybe 50 or 60 years, because she has great hair, but I mean, that's the style now. It's little 20s, 30s, you know, people that have great hair, you know.
But you know what, we're 24, 49, you know, 40. And so what would we say to our younger selves if we had an opportunity to talk to our younger selves, whatever age we choose? What would we say to our younger selves? That's a good question.
What I would tell little Latasha, I would say, girl, little Latasha, come here. Seriously though, when you talked about that peace, be anxious for absolutely nothing. It all works out. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Stop tripping. It's gonna be okay.
No.
Oh, okay. Oh gosh, there's so many things that I would tell Daniela. One thing I would tell her is that be comfortable with being who you are. Embrace who you are, not what people say you should be like or who you should be like. Be you, you know, and that is something that I've embraced now. Like, literally over the last 2 years, I've, like, come to the conclusion, like, this is gonna sound real bad, but, like, Danielle, you were really popping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you popping, you know? So that's definitely something that I would say. And then also, there are some, I know we say that mistakes make us, you know, stronger and things like that, but there are some things that if I could rewind time, I would definitely do differently, you know? But I still believe that those things, those mistakes or those decisions that I made have brought me to here, you know? So I'm grateful for that. So I would say, Danielle, embrace every phase of your life, because it will make you into or complete the puzzle that God has destined.
You get that puzzle. So little Larice was Lakeisha. And you know, if I had to tell little Larice, Lakeisha, something, you know, I would say, you know, don't rush it. You know, enjoy childhood. You know, be a child. Like, don't be so angry. You know, you don't have to be. You have all the time in the world to grow up. Just enjoy, you know, being young.
And grateful.
So if I had to tell my little girl
Just
or
a
a
ghost.
little girl,
Speak to us, Lord.
yeah,
It's a ghost talking to us.
you know, I mean, for anyone out there who is younger than 49, younger than 24, just kind of younger, you you know, be okay with where you are. You know, enjoy whatever age, you know, you're at. If you're a teenager, you know, don't rush to grow up. You know, you'll never be 15 again. You'll never be 17 again. And so don't rush to do the things that adults do because you'll have all the opportunity in the world. And sometimes you feel like you have to, you know, grow up, you have to be, you know, so much more advanced, and you don't. You know, you don't. Enjoy your childhood.
I'm gonna talk to the woman who's aged chronologically but has not aged emotionally. So I would say you may be a 30-year-old who physically everybody looks at you and they see that you're in your career, you're doing daggone thing, but inside you know you still are stuck at being that 15-year-old girl. I would challenge you to talk to her, you know, to really speak to her, embrace her, love her through this difficult moment so that you could be the 30-year-old queen that you are. Because until you deal with that little girl that's on the inside of you, she's going to continue to creep herself. She's going to continue to show up. She's going to continue to sabotage employment opportunities. She's going to sabotage friendships and relationships. But she is a part of who you are. So talk to her, help her to minister to her, pray to her, pray for her. But also, if you need to sit down and talk to somebody about some of those things that happened in your yesteryear so that you can move forward and age gracefully and have that peace that keeps you aging beautifully, do it. It's okay. It's okay.
I think I would say it's okay to be different. It's okay to think different. It's okay to look different. It's okay to not have all the friends in the world. It's okay to be by yourself sometimes. Like, don't use what society says is the norm to be your norm. You create your norm. You allow God to create your norm. You know, like, be okay to be different. Like, we just live in a world where everybody, like you were saying, everybody has the same face. Everybody has the same, you know, career. Everybody has the same this, the same man. Okay, you know, like, it is okay to be different. It's embrace what makes you different. You know, God made us all differently. That's why we all have different fingerprints. We have different hair strands. Like, God made us different for a reason. So embrace what makes you unique, because nobody else in the world is like you.
So final thoughts, and I'll share mine. I would say my final thought is love you, all of you, droopy draws, tits ain't out. I mean, all of that. I mean, because that's part of the situation. Things start to change, but they're still beautiful. You know, yeah, okay. All right, so just embrace you, all of you, at whatever stage you are. You are a bad mama jamma. And if today you do want to wear some skinny jeans, so what? Rock your skinny jeans. Do you, be you, love you. Because in doing that, you inspire another woman to do the same thing.
Everybody ages. Not everybody ages the same. I think, you know, kind of what Danielle said is, you know, you are unique. And so whatever your aging process, embrace it.
Yes, embrace it.
I would say be grateful for the age that you are now, and understand that your age is a gift from God, and every birthday that you have is a gift from God. And so when we show that we are appreciative and we are grateful to God, then He allows us to have more birthdays and allows us to get older. So that is a part of aging gracefully.
Yes. Thank you guys for joining us on
Queen Chronicles The Series.
See you next week.